Okay, 1.7 pre-calculus, part 2, continuing from previous part 1. Composition of inverse functions. Two functions f and g are inverse functions if and only if f of g of x becomes x, g of f of x becomes x. Okay, so two functions f and g are inverse functions if it satisfies this and if it satisfies this. So this is the way you show two functions are inverse functions of each other. Let me show you an example. Show that these functions are inverse functions. Okay? Okay, here is wrong way to do it. Some of my students say, well, I'm going to start with this. F of x equal to 2/3 x plus 2. And some students say, I'm going to find the inverse function of this. Then at the end, that inverse function I found is equal to this. Here I showed it. Wrong. Okay? This is a wrong way to do it. So when I ask you, show that two functions are inverse functions, do not do this. Don't do it this. So here, replace that with y equal to 2/3 x plus 2. Swap x and y, x equal to 2/3 y plus 2. Solve for y, so minus 2 minus 2, x minus 2 equal to 2/3 y. Solving for y, so multiply by reciprocal, so 3/2 times x minus 2 equal to 3/2 times 2/3 y. They cancels out. So it becomes what? 3/2 x minus 2, y equal to that. Then you say inverse function of x equal to 3/2 x minus 2. You do all that work and you say, hey, look at it. This is exactly same as this. This is the same as that. You get 0 credit. Yeah, this is a completely wrong way to do it. So don't do this. This is wrong. You do this when I ask you find its inverse. So if I give you this without this and ask you find the inverse of that, then you do this. Okay? I already gave you these two. Okay, I already gave you these two. So if you find the inverse of that, of course it's going to be this. If you find the inverse of that, of course it's going to be this. That's not how you show they are inverses each other. How do you show they are inverses? You have to do f of g. You have to do composite function of f of g, showing that that's x. Then you have to do g of f of x, showing that becomes x. Okay? So how do you do that? Right here. You have to do f of g of x. F is this. Okay? So you are structuring f. So you have to show that this and this. So if you do f of g of x, f is this. So you get 2/3 something plus 2. F is a structure here. F is a structure. Copy down f. Instead of x, throw the parentheses. You're going to plug in g inside here. G inside. So 3/2 x minus 2. You just start with this. 3 cancels out, 2 cancels out. I got x minus 2 plus 2 cancels out, becomes x. Check mark. You have to get x. You get anything else but x, busted. Stop right there. That means they are not inverse functions each other. So first one, check. Next one, you have to do g of f of x. G of f of x. Now, g is the structure. G is the structure. So we got 3/2 parenthesis minus 2. I just copy down g. Instead of x, I threw the parenthesis. You're going to plug it in f. f of x inside parentheses, 2/3 x plus 2. Okay, so inside this parenthesis, you got this parenthesis. We have nothing in front of this parenthesis. So it becomes just 2/3 x plus 2 minus 2. Plus 2 minus 2 cancels out. Then there's nothing in front of this parenthesis. So 3/2, it becomes 2/3 x. And they cancels out, it becomes x. Check mark. That's it. You just show that this is x, this is x. That's how you show they are inverse each other. Okay? Graphically, inverse functions are symmetric over y equal to x. So if this is the graph, you will fold over y equal to x. This very 45 degree, this straight line is y equal to x. So you will fold over that, and that reflection will be graph of inverse function. Okay, so show that f and g are inverse each other. What do? You have to do f of g of x. F of g of x. So if I show you f of g of x, f is a structure. F is what? Right here. So set it up, f like that, g you plug it in. Then what? Square root disappears. So x plus 2 minus 2 plus 2 minus 2 disappear. Check mark. Okay? That is x. Then what? You have to try g of f of x. G is a structure now. G is right here. Square root of x plus 2. That's a structure. Plug it in f inside. X squared minus 2. So that becomes minus 2 plus 2 disappears. Square root disappears. Yep. Check mark. They are inverse each other. Use the graph of relation A to sketch the graph of its inverse. What did I say? Graphically, inverse function is symmetric over y equal to x. Y equal to x is like here. That's the straight line, like diagonal right here. That's y equal to x. So that you're gonna like fold like this. So that one will become something like this. This will go like something like that. And that will go or something like this. And that will go over something like that. So it's gonna be something like this, like something like that. It's hard to look at it, but it looks pretty though. Okay, so you're like fold it, so that's gonna go here. That one is gonna go like something like this, and that one will go something like that. This one will go like that, so it's gonna look like that graph wise. So that's the graph of inverse function. Pause it, you try. That's the original. Okay? Pause it, you try. You're trying to reflect over this. So you have to imagine like folding it. So that one will go over something over here. This one will go over something like this. And what's the answer? That's not easy to tell. Looks like this guy. Yeah. So if you fold it, that will be the answer. Okay. Okay, now you are ready to take Alex homework, guys.